What's up, everybody? Welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. Gotta tell you, one of the strangest things in crypto is that some coins never really die. Anybody ever thought that about any coins like BTC? They get called, finished, outdated, irrelevant, and then somehow they show up again. So the real question is, what keeps certain things alive in the market long after people think they're done? Now, I would say, how many Ethereum killers have we had? You know, how many projects claim to be the Ethereum killer? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Underground Crypto. Thank you for being here. As you guys know, I will be not able to have a stream Friday and Saturday. Just want to make sure everybody knows that. But today's stream should be normal, not cut short or anything of that nature. So let's get into it while we can. The crypto bubbles for today on the daily 1 through 100. Let's toggle. Let's drop down. Looks pretty bearish. Looks pretty red. But I'm sure you guys already knew that. I know I have a lot of traders. Shout out to Bankroll, Green Fingers, Cams, to all the people that like to hang out in, I believe Crypto Keep is his name over here, but not in the Discord. They like to hang out in that tab over there in the Discord. Free link to our free Discord in the chat if you want to go over there and check it out. We have many other things, an airdrop tab, all kinds of stuff. I announced my show earlier in the day, so you know what the topic is, all of that good stuff. Anyways, top 1 through 100 down 2.3%, and this is obviously averaged by 100 here, 3% for 100 to 200, so we're looking at quite a bit of red. So let's get into it. I love crypto bubbles because you can kind of just look for the biggest bubbles, but wouldn't you say they're all kind of about the same size? Looks like ENA is down 9.8%. And of course, I forgot to shout out to all my undergrounders. Thank you for being here. Funky Ferret, Camsta, Plague Dogs, Melissa, the Blues guy in the house says, greeting everyone, much love and gratitude. Glad to be here with you. Glad to see you in Underground. Let's go and raise that crypto IQ. Hope all is well and healthy, and we reflect that back to you, of course. Says, hello, sorry I'm late, Melissa. We just started. You're not late. Plague Dogs with the praying hands. He's praying that we recover from this redness in the market. Now, I will say, I've been saying for a hot minute, doesn't feel like the bottom of a bear market to me. With my experience, you know, a lot of times they rhyme. They're not perfect reflections, you know, cycle after cycle. So I never know what to expect. Of course, it could have been the bottom. That would have been nice. It would have been cool to get, you know, not as harsh of a bear market, considering we really didn't have that euphoric of a bull market. For altcoins, at least. Anyways, got to remind everybody, Bitcoin did go from 15,000 to 126,000. That's some multiples there. Like, on some decent money, you could have made some money there. Altcoins didn't perform like they have in previous. Are we going super cycle? It's yet to be seen. I'm not going to promise you things I don't know nothing about. I don't know if we're going to have a super cycle. Cyrene down another 23.4%. It really needed some recovery action, and from $1.88 to 17 cents in less than a week doesn't seem like a good asset to me. River losing 20% today, only down 34.3% on the month with all this bearish. Not so bad. Kosh Network down 11.8%. Kite AI down 17.7%. Aether is down 14.3%. Any other ones? XPL has been on a little bit of a tear lately, actually. I think it pumped yesterday and it's pumped today, up 10%. So there's always something moving in the inverse direction as the market, right? Tag or Tagger is up 53.6% on the day. Again, somewhere in the market, somebody made some money. Keep that in mind. Derive, which is a decentralized exchange, right? 9.5% to the upside. And then Sign, which is wanting to help big governments with CBDCs. I know all of our retail viewers here are super excited about that. I know I am. Just kidding. All right, and then we'll drop down one more 100. Check it out. You have Cartesi getting an 86.3% pump. Man, that's kind of out of nowhere. Very interesting. Stone, which was a hot take of yesterday, Stake Stone, It did top out around $1.76, and now it's back to 20 cents today. Whew. Wow. I mean, if you look at it on the weekly or something, it's still favorable. Still up 280% on the month. I don't know why you would have got into this a month ago unless somebody kind of had tipped you off about it. NISA Global had one of those straight up pumps, right? Not even parabolic, just straight up. And a lot of times they come straight down after that. Got beat down. I love that. I'll never get tired of saying that. They probably should have came up with a better name. 20% to the downside. Let's move along. Let's do our price rundown. Let's see what the overall market cap really lost today. Down to 2.38 trillion. Down 2.3% on the total crypto market cap, right? Not just Bitcoin, but everything. That's a big number. Like that's a good bit. And BTC is down to $66,803. Can't forget that $3 on there, right? Wouldn't be complete or accurate. Shout out, how's the mic levels? How's the music? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Let me see those custom emojis. Let's keep this chat running as best that we can. Just throw random commentary on my regular undergrounders and see if we can keep this chat running. See if it makes a difference in pulling people in. I bet that it will. All right, Ethereum, $2,054. You can see that BTC 7-day chart and Ethereum 7-day chart very much do look the same. Let's go ahead and pop over to TradingView and let's check it out. I of course always have BTC up. This is the hourly. And what's really the first thing you see here? If you've been doing TA for a while, you probably should see it. You could start with like an M that turns into more of like maybe, oops, I kind of drew that one backwards. So you could count this as just a head and shoulder, right? Not quite. You could give it maybe a complicated, head. Maybe you're going to get a complicated head and shoulders there, potentially. But either way, that is a bearish sign, no matter which way you're putting it. You did kind of flag out, right? The 1 hour flagged out a little bit above the 200, touching the 21, and then it just lost it, right? And then you'll see here, standard lifer vision. If you would have just got out of it, like if you would have played the flag here, let me back up because I move a little quick sometimes. If you would have seen maybe like this flag here, or before it turned into that, maybe you would have saw something more like this. And you would have been playing the above the 200 touching the 21 idea. Say it was more like here that you were looking at, right? And then it didn't really work out, but you were above the 200, so you were kind of holding on, right? And you held on, and it really kind of did make a shoulder, head. Wow, it lagged and didn't draw it. Shoulder, it just did it again. What is going on? I'm moving too fast. Shoulder, head. I gotta go super slow. It's weird. So it did give you a shoulder, head, and shoulder, right? And the measured move of that here, maybe I need to make it a little taller. It'll stick out a little bit more. And you could even say that you kind of had a shoulder, head, and shoulder there. That's probably a lot more beautiful TA wise. And either way, it would have signaled that you were gonna drop down, and it fulfilled even more than that measured move there. But either way, my point was, if you were playing any of that stuff, remember that it is to get out when you lose the 200, right? When you lose the 200 there, you never really would have recovered it, and stay out of it, right? And then you can maybe wait for your next opportunity, where we are now, very much looking like it wants to do something like that. Come on. Work with me here. I've never had TradingView lag so much. Very weird. But of course, are you going to get this follow through? Usually bullish patterns play out less under the 200, and your RSI already very toppy there. Let's go to the 4 hour. And let's delete our recent work. Make it so I can see the chat. Chris Goss in the house. What's up? What's up? All right, let's go ahead and get rid of what we just did in the smaller time frame. And you will see that we had already had, cup and handle, or you could just call this a falling wedge, I guess. It certainly does look like a shoulder, head, and shoulder, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder. Slanted, but still shoulder, head, and shoulder. And you're seeing them everywhere, which sometimes is a good sign of where it's coming. I was saying earlier, I don't personally believe that we've seen the bottom of this bear market. I think it's probably going to wind up, if we want to be more bullish, I would say the bottom may be more like 40,000, 38,000. If you want to be more on the bearish side, it could be more something like 30,000, 29,000, right? So we're just kind of waiting to see it. If you're looking at this channel here, looks like you came up, got rejected by the 200 on the 4 hour, headed down, found a stopping point, a support and resistance, right? Go ahead and put a line there, bang. And then you got like maybe another one around here. I'm just doing it quickly, right? And then of course that kind of lines up with stuff, of course, here where you got rejected, but also back here, your SR flip right there, respected right there, respected right here. You get the point, hopefully. And there we are. So basically, you really need to break up above 69,500, or you could say break above the 200 on the 4 hour and hold it to really have a good chance of this cup and handle playing out here. And again, the handle's fallen far more than like 50% of the whole range there, so I don't really know if you really want to call it a cup and handle. If anything, it's probably a lot more of a double bottom would make sense to me. But just wanted to do that, a little bit of TA on BTC for everybody, why they believe that the sky is falling. It's not. Welcome to crypto, and welcome to a bear market if you've never been through one before. All right, let's keep rolling. So XRP $1.32, BNB $584, Solana $79. Had that little rally yesterday while we were live that Cam still was talking about, and it gave it back. Dogecoin, a very flat 9 cents. Hopefully it can hold that 9 cents and not go too much lower. I hate to see the Dogecoin drop off. Obviously, I hold a little bit. Cardano, 23 cents. Hyperliquid, $35.33. Chainlink, $8.62. Monero or XMR, $327. Canton Network, 14 cents. XLM, 16 cents. Memecore, now I think it was 24 by market cap yesterday. It's moved up to 22 by market cap with $4.5 billion in it. I like that a lot. I'm glad I bought that 100 Memecore when I did. Now it is $2.62. Memecore looks like one of those ones that could really do something. Memecore is responsible for MemeX, which is like a Web3 Twitter. Most of my regulars know what I'm talking about. Here's the feed. I don't have to worry about the feed so much. When this first came out, there was a lot of sketchy people, like literally like the first couple weeks I was using it, but they cleaned it up a lot from here. It is meme central, right? A lot of memes promoting themselves on here, a lot of meme loving people hanging out. It's a cool place though. I do get some good traction over there. I like that. All right, just wanted to shout that out. My point is that Memecore has a real product, and that's just one aspect of Memecore, right? But Memecore is heavily integrated. If I didn't show that, let me show that. You got your staking and things like that. Like, it's actually integrated. It's actually Web3. That part to me is rather impressive. I won't spend forever showing it off. All right, Zcash, $238. HBAR, 8 cents. Very high, 8 cents, almost 9 cents. Avalanche, $8.76. SWI, 85 cents. Definitely thinking about scooping up some more SWI. I like SWI where it's at right now, personally. BitTensor, looks like it's on sale a little bit here. $2.99. I mean, we haven't talked about portfolios in a long time. I feel like maybe we should start talking about portfolios a little bit more as we move into the bear market. Again, everybody's going to lose all the faith. Bottom of the bear market, everybody is going to say crypto's dead, blah, 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 blah. It's going to be the best opportunities for price to scoop things at best price, bottom of the bear market. Now, when is the bottom of the bear market? That is a totally different thing that we have to follow day by day, and that's the compounding interest of coming to this stream every day, right? But if you can time it even somewhat well, the thing is, don't try to deploy all your capital, in my opinion. So what I would do, I wouldn't try to deploy all my capital at what I think is the very bottom, the day that I think it's the very bottom. I would get in a range, maybe when we get down to like close to 40,000, once we hit like 40,000 and start dipping under, that's probably when I'll start buying things up. And then I'll just continue to buy as long as we're dipping under there. We go to 35,000, we go to maybe 32,000, and I'll keep going harder as we go down, because eventually it will bottom and eventually it will come up, as long as you're not buying trash. Don't buy trash coins and hope for every single thing in your portfolio to be a moonshot. I believe that maybe 1 to 2% of your portfolio, I would honestly say 1%, is better for moonshot type stuff. There's one thing to buy things at the bottom that you think are a little bit more speculative, not as safe, like they're not Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, right? Maybe they're a little bit more down the line, and then you go from light risk to medium risk to heavy risk to extreme risk, right? Where would you put BitTensor? Can anybody tell me what level of risk they would put BitTensor as a purchase? Anybody out there listening along? Jimmy Villian, awesome prices coming our way. Exactly. If you're here for the short game, you're just going to be infinitely frustrated because you're going to keep missing things and you're never going to hit any big wins. A lot of the people with the short gains, when it doesn't happen, they get very frustrated. They sell at a loss, turn unrealized gains into realized gains. I'm here to say personally, the longer you hold, as long as you're not holding trash, like I want to make that very clear. Like if you hold like Dogelon, Elon, Mars coin, it may never do anything. You might get lucky, you might not, but it might be trash. If you're holding XRP, BitTensor, SWI, Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, like top 100 coins, far less likely to not see a return. Trying to buy as close to the bottom as you can, allocating funds, stair step in, stair step out. We could spend a lot of time on that, but it would be cool if anybody could tell me what level of risk asset would you consider Tau if you bought it near the bottom, right? Not a perfect bottom, but somewhere near the bottom. And I'm talking light, medium, heavy risk. Let's see if anybody has a good assessment of it, right? All right, and then let's just hop down for Baloo's guy, the king of Flare. Let's go ahead and check out 82. So top 100 stuff, Flare, really awesome. We could probably buy some Flare and mess around with it on stream. I'm going to try to do my best to set that up for Monday. All right, let's go take a look at what is trending. But even before I tell you what is trending, I'd like to go ahead and get into the topic of the day, especially for the people who rewatch this stream. I don't want it to take too long. Camsta says low risk. I would say anything from low to a medium risk is a good answer. I would say low risk. I'd lean more low risk because it's AI, right? And it's the most legitimate. Like there's a lot of projects that tout AI, use AI agentic network in their, keywords. Or their SEO or whatever, but real AI, like really building something, has real AI projects. That's BitTensor, right? There's no other project as big as BitTensor doing what it's doing. Crush those electrolytes so I can read you guys a crypto story. Now, if you don't know, says awesome underground, thank you bro, absolutely, anytime my man. Or medium, only like 3 coins are low risk, ETH, Sol, and BTC. Yeah, and a lot of people would be of that opinion, Camsta. I definitely see that, and that's why I said I would probably put it in medium, or I could see it in medium, but I would go more low risk, because what if you go category by category, AI, who's got better, legitimate AI product in crypto blockchain technology than BitTensor does, right? Tau is 10% of my portfolio. Nice. it's very easy to talk about portfolios when we keep it in realms of a percentage of portfolio. So I like that. 10% I think is a nice number for that. And when you do the percentages, it's cool because it doesn't matter if we're talking about $100 or $100,000 or $10 million. Everybody can understand it without having to lose sight of what it is by how much money, right? All right, so crypto has a weird memory, they say. Or maybe a better way to say it is crypto never fully lets go. Because if you stay in this space long enough, you'll start noticing something strange. Certain coins never really disappear. I mean, look at Dogecoin. Now, even in this rally, Dogecoin went to 48 cents. All right. That's a good return from where it was in the bear market. Like, you would have made money. When I first bought Dogecoin, it was 0.002 per asset, per coin, whatever you want to call it. It's up to you, personal choice. But anyways, even going to 48 cents, I was up on it. All right, so because if you stay in the space long enough, you'll notice something strange. Certain coins never really disappear. They fade out, they lose attention. People move on. A new narrative takes over. And for a while, it feels like that chapter is over. But then something happens and the market shifts. A certain kind of attention returns. Think your categories, think meme coins, think metaverse, think social-fi, think decentralized exchanges. Like, what categories can you think of? This is why, as we're going through what is trending and stuff, I'm always pointing out what categories they're in. Depend, because when things, birds of a feather flock together, I guess is a good way to say it, because when things move, they tend to move in their sector, not just like all crypto moves at one time, right? Meme coins will have a lot of attention, and then decentralized exchanges will have a lot of attention, and then they'll cycle through different categories. Hope everybody is ready to raise that crypto IQ on a Thursday night. Let's see. Oh, it's Camps's bedtime story. I was wondering what the heck was going on. Who's gonna tug him in tonight? Check for monsters under the bed, like the Fed under the bed. Oh, Camps is already telling nursery rhymes. No, I'm scared, LOL. Jerome, is that you? Y'all are hilarious. I love that. Somebody should write a kid's book where Jerome Powell is the monster fed under the bed. There's $1 million idea for you right there. The market shifts. A certain kind of attention returns. A theme starts heating up again. We've all seen this happen. And suddenly something old is back in the conversation. I mean, like when privacy coins came back and we were talking about Pirate Chain and we were talking about like all kinds of coins that were from like 2013, 2014, and have really not had much interest since then. All right, it's about memory, it's about identity, it's about what people already know, recognize, and already have some emotional relationship with. Because crypto is not just market of assets, it's a market of stories, right? Narratives. We've gone over a lot of how crypto moves and how it cycles through its narratives. Categories are narratives, and the stories don't always die because the price action disappeared for a while. Sometimes they just go dormant. And why certain names keep coming back, not because they were always the best, not because they never lost relevance, but because they stayed alive in collective memory of the market and in crypto. And that matters way more than people realize. Let's bring up our talking points as we bounce back to what is trending. Little Pepe trending, just to prove our point here. Look at that thing. And there's so many of these Pepes. This could be a new one. This could be, this thing, token generated October 25th, 2025. Very, very strange price action, if you ask me. Doesn't look organic. This looks like pump group activity or somebody getting a hold of it. Somebody doing something strange. $1.2 billion in market cap. And let's just put this into perspective here. This is the monthly chart. You saw the max chart. Pretty giant spike out of nowhere, right? For most of the time, this thing was like 0.4 zeros and then a 1. So not a lot per coin. 1 billion tokens, 1 billion out, fully vested. Very little money was in it. But in the last 24 hours, you're going to tell me that this thing went from 0.00 $5 to for almost $15. That's an incredible percentage gain, right? That's not as of right now. Like, look where it is right now. Right here, where it is right now at $1.25 is still 93,816% gain. Down here, can you imagine what it was when it was like $14, $15? Who knew to buy it? Why it did what it did today? It made a head and shoulder and then dumped like classic TA and then pumped all the way back. It's insane. This, I just got to go off of, my instinct here. This feels like straight manipulation. Why was it flat for so long? I mean, look at it. From the October 25th, 2025, it's been just as flat as could be. Ethereum contract. It's a meme coin, of course. Frog theme. The boys club, if you will. And let's see how many followers they have over on Twitter. He says you can sell it at the Juice Cafe. Exactly. When is gaming going to come back? Hey, we're working on that. We're trying to get an answer for you every day. This is my last stream of the week. I've had something planned for about 2 months. My buddy is recording his album, and I'm going to go be a part of that process. Not that I'm not in the band or anything like that, but I've been, pretty heavily involved in going to their shows and stuff. So when is gaming going to come back? Read that. That's completely sick, said Blues Guy. Yeah. And here's the part. If you go back, I've done content. I've done content on Little Pepe. I've talked about Little Pepe. You can find it. Actually, I'd be really interesting. Let's search. Right. Let's search Little Pepe. I don't know if I need to put a space in it here. Boom. Look at that. Who's your boy telling you about Little Pepe? Maxi Doge. Whatever that one was. Right? Here's a short that I did. It would have been at the end here. So Layer Brett, Maxi Doge, and Little Pepe. And I was doing them because they were what everybody was talking about. So just saying, your boy did talk about it. Now, if you didn't buy it, I don't blame you. I didn't buy it. There's a million coins like this thrown at us every day. But just so you know, we do cover it. When you search Little Pepe, I'm like the third thing that comes up there. Anyways, then we have 136 followers. That kind of tells me that this is heavily manipulated. Didn't seem like a lot of people really knew about it. So yeah, I'll leave it there. But again, guys, this seems like heavy manipulation. I don't know if wash trading can really get you up that far. But anyways, it is an impressive amount of gains. It would be pretty awesome if I would have bought some. All right, also trending every single day of your life over on CoinGecko, Pudgy Penguins. If you are diversifying your portfolio, if you're thinking, I have no exposure to an NFT project at the bottom of the bear market, I want to put Pudgy Penguins on that list. Melissa was making a list for us of coins that we want to maybe try to accumulate at the very bottom, right? And then maybe we'll build a little portfolio and go over it, for the stream. Let's make sure Pudgy Penguins is on that. I might have already said that. If it is, then just ignore me. All right, Stakestone was a big one of the yesterday. And let's go to the last 7 days here. You will see that this thing pumped all the way up to $1.15 April 2nd, 2026. And it's just been downhill from there. Started the pump around 14 cents. Now it's at 22 cents. It pretty much gave it all back, right? But I did like the product. I did like the product that they were showing off there. They definitely put out a new website and stuff like that. Ethereum, $2,000. I don't know why I'm reading you the price of Ethereum. XPL, Plasma. This is another one that I might want to consider. Let's go to the max chart. Yeah. I may want to consider this coin. If you could put that on the list, Melissa, XPL, because I think we should consider this coin because it's stable coins and things built on the railroads that were established for stable coins, right? Smart contract platform, it's its own layer 1, neobank, and an eco launch pad, but it is very much wrapped around stable coins. I was hoping they were going to give us. All right, this is their explanation. What is Plasma? Plasma is a layer 1 blockchain purpose-built for global stable coin payments. I'm not crazy. This is the compounding knowledge you get from going over these coins and staying in the market. It's going to pay off, in my opinion, especially for myself, leading the pack here. You just haven't seen it yet. Sometimes you got to walk into the future. The future just doesn't happen immediately, or we'd all be gone because everything would be over. But that was not my point. So future zero fee USDT transfers and EVM compatibility, never know if it's going to say composability, to enable permissionless access to financial services worldwide. Zero fees. Plasma BFT consensus protocol delivers sub-second finality, what they call like a real-time blockchain, and native Bitcoin bridge enables trust minimized BTC integration, right? So they got a lot of things that they're touting. That's good stuff. Tokenomics, they got, I like how they've added this. They don't have this for every coin. You only get this for the bigger coins. The initial token distribution of XPL is as follows. And let's see, ecosystem and growth, 40%. Investors got 25%. The team got 25%. And XPL public sale was another 10%. So 50% there, and the other 50% to ecosystem and growth. It says team. I'd like to see a treasury, right? I'd like to see like a treasury that's in charge of like marketing, stuff like that. But maybe they have a different way of going about it. Usually these little yellow things here are exchange listings or some kind of news event. Oh, it experienced major stablecoin outflows. So it's just any relevant thing that's happened, I guess. I like that they've added that there. Now we could go and pull up a trading view chart. Except for, yeah, I don't want it on the max chart for trading view purposes. Come on, let me go up. Let's go to like the 4 hour. Yeah, look at that big wick. I mean, that would still, where's all my TA people out? That's still considered a tweezer top, is it not? Is that not considered a tweezer top right there? So it should have some downside. We could, that wick really gives you a heck of a range. If you're pulling like a Fibonacci here, say from the beginning, if you're just pulling candles, you got that. If you pull the entire thing, so the full range, wick to wick, you know, you'd have something like this. And the 786 would be around 10 cents, right? But I'd be looking to wait until I think that we're really closer to a bottom market type thing. But anyways, I think XPL could be a good play. What number by market cap is this thing? 130. So it is a harder play. Like, it's not in the top 100, but it's not that far out of the top 100. But my assessment here is that it gives you some exposure. It's a layer 1 blockchain and it's wrapped around stablecoins. Remember, stablecoins make fees for a transaction, so there's money. Follow the money. If you're going to invest in something, you might want to be able to very easily look at it and say, this is how they get money. Like, this is how they make money. This is relevant. If it makes money, that means people use it. If people are willing to pay a fee on a network, that means that the network is useful and people want to use it. That's a good sign. How many people are using XPL? That I'm not exactly sure of. Solana, Cartesi popping back on the radar. Throw a wave or something like that if you don't know what Cartesi is. Anybody out there not know what Cartesi is? It says, okay, done. Thank you, Melissa. I have a good bag of XPL. Way to go. Way to go. Do you still own Anoma? I do. Ain't no point in selling that thing now, right? Anoma is hopefully a sleeper. I'm glad that you brought that up, actually. Let's duplicate ourselves here. And let's go look up Anoma. There it is, XAN. I mean, it hasn't been good to us. Not been good to us. Let's say that, right? I remember buying it around 4 or 5 cents. It's cooked. Let's be honest about that. But what I did want to show is that they do post on Twitter a good bit and see if they have anything relevant to say. Pin post 10 hours ago, Anoma Pay public beta is now live on BNB chain. The wait is over. Sign up in seconds with your favorite wallet or key. Again, what was I bullish on when it came to Anoma? The idea. Is Anoma going to be the one to perfectly integrate or execute, I should say, the idea? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be the one. But they're working on it. Seems like they're actually building stuff, as they always have something to say on here. So everything right now is about Anoma Pay and Anoma DOS, which are, infrastructure type stuff for what they said that they were going to create. You would need these type of things. All right. Effortless private payments are coming to your favorite chains with Anoma Pay. Again, the infrastructure payment type stuff, liquidity type stuff in an ecosystem has to come first. So I do like the direction. I do like that they're doing it. I'm not going to lie, because I bought so much around like 5 cents or whatever, I wouldn't kill me to throw another $20, $30 at this project and scoop up some at these extremely low prices, assuming that they keep building through this bear market and they actually build something, right? A lot of the stuff they post are about updates, I've seen some cool updates that they have going on. So it does seem like they're building. My opinion is, if it does wind up being a project in the future that's relevant, they did their token generation event way too early. Now, did they have some strategy? Did they want to do their token generation event early, have their people who basically bought in early sell off and get the heck out of it so that it doesn't hurt them later down the line when things are actually bullish, get them out during the bear market? That could be a thing, but I don't know if it is. That's why you are the queen, says Blues Guy. I have some Anoma too. It will come back. Keep buying if you believe in the project. Very, very cheap nowadays. Yeah, I mean, if I threw another $30 in it, I'd probably double my bag as far as the a number of coins, right? Something like that. All right, 37.9 million in Cartesi. Cartesi used to be like a project everybody cared about. I remember the days. It's got an Ethereum contract and a bunch of other contracts. Very interoperable. It's infrastructure. It's a layer 2. It's modular. It's a layer 3. It's roll up. It's proof of stake. It's an app chain. It's all kinds of different things. It does have a lot going for it. But it's one of those ones that maybe is kind of fallen out of relevancy, but it's starting to trend again. Any code Ethereum security. Anybody remember this website? I've been to this website before while we were live streaming here. Build app chain rollups with language, libraries, and tools. So it's very infrastructure, right? It's very something that's relevant when you need it. Somehow I highlighted the entire page. Let's go ahead and just reload it. Empowering Ethereum rollups, right? With real-world software and strong guarantees. We have talked so much about this. If you haven't raised your crypto IQ to understand the power of layer 2s, the power of rollups, stuff like that, what that means for crypto blockchain technology, how it's helped it, what the flaws are, what the trade-offs are, the Bitcoin trilemma, then we'll go over it all over again just for you. Hit me up in the Discord. That's how much I love y'all. Build with all benefits of, I bet you didn't think that's where I was going with it, right? So build with the benefits of Linux, app-specific rollup, so it's very techy. A boundless design space for cutting-edge developers, right? The Cartesi virtual machine, everybody has a virtual machine. Honestly, the virtual machine idea is just to connect everything interoperable, that you can port things here and there and everything kind of works. Ethereum kind of sets the standard on it, right? And we'll move on from there. I own the tiniest bit of Cartesi somewhere. Like, it might be like $20 worth of Cartesi when I bought it. Probably not worth any of that now. I never went heavy in it. I started buying a tiny bit, and then the price fell. It's probably back here, and then I stopped loading up on it. So I think I only bought $20, $30 worth. I'd have to go find out. But anyway, it still has a 37.9 million market cap. It's number 528, so XPL is much higher up the food chain than Cartesi is nowadays. But I do like to see an older coin like that coming across the network here on the What's Trending. And if you look at it for the last 24 hours, it had one heck of a pump from, say, 2 cents, topping out around almost 5 cents. So there you go. And it's holding it pretty well too. So that pump may continue. Actually, let's do our due diligence. Go to their Twitter real quick and see if they have any news out lately. Pin, this is from July 16th, 2025. That was forever ago. I feel like with some of these older projects, like they lose the touch of posting every day and stuff. And you just come and all of a sudden their pin post is from July 16th, 2025, right? Anyways, if you're new to Cartesi, ask a question. If you've been here for a while, answer a question. It says, all right, they're just trying to get engagement there. April 1st isn't a joke. Linux, execution, Ethereum, settlement. We keep shipping in Q2. Okay, maybe that had something to do with it. That would have been yesterday. Just really looking for any kind of big announcement. I do want to follow them so I can get maybe some of that stuff. Q1 wrapped up. Cartesians vote. All right, I don't see any huge announcements, but they do look somewhat engaging. Like, they seem like they're posting a good bit. They have 7,000 posts, 87, call it 88,000 followers. Oh, look like maybe we got a new person in the house. Says, Digibyte, DigiDollar, you're welcome. World's first truly decentralized stable coin. All right, Ramirez. Hopefully you stick around, man. If you're really somebody who is very bullish about what you're talking about, I'd like to hear more from you. I'd like to hear your perspective. You get people who come in that are like really dug into something specific, you know what I mean? And it could be Flare, it can be XRP, it can be XLM, it could be Stronghold, it could be Digi, you know? And I'd like to hear more. Please tell us more. And I'm not dogging you at all. I'm not trying to, get you to come out and talk about it so that we can laugh at you. It's not like that around here. We're a good community of crypto people. We don't do crap like that. So if you want to, please tell me more about it. Sometimes people just pop in and they say something like that and they don't stick around. They don't actually have a part of a discussion in the conversation. Of course I'm down. I just didn't want to be chat banned. Oh no, you're good here. We're pretty lenient when it comes to getting banned. You'd have to just be, crap talking and not listening to anybody and just, going crazy to get kicked out of our chat here. But yeah, please tell us more, for sure. There's a Discord link in the chat, free Discord as of now. That might change, so you might want to grab it because I'll grandfather pretty much everybody in who has already got it. But yeah, go ahead and hop in there. Feel free to tell us more in here. Digibyte, I've heard a lot about it. I can go deep dive it in a second. Every once in a while, somebody has some really strong conviction about it, and they talk about it. I don't remember all the little details, to be honest with you. We go over a lot of coins here. We do this show 6 days a week. All right, Drift Protocol. I say that on the 1 week that I won't be here Friday and Saturday, but that's very, 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 very rare. We've been doing this show for over 6 months. So Drift Protocol, we've talked about it quite a bit. They were experiencing an attack the other day. 24-hour chart looks up and down, looks very unstable. Still managed to hold 30.4 million. It's a decentralized exchange, right? Derivatives, perpetuals, prediction market. And they messed up. They messed up big time. Running from about 7 cents to the initial drop was about 4 cents, right? 3.9, and they've just been ranging under that ever since. Not something I would be looking forward to buy. Now let's go take a look at that Fear and Greed Index. If you're throwing something in the chat, no worries. I will read it in just a second. I won't leave you hanging for very long. You matter, brother. Your opinion matters. That is how we grow as a community. Welcome to the Underground Show. Exactly. Now, if you've been to a lot of bigger channels, people get a little crazy. We got things a little more under wrap here. We are a little bit more of an advanced kind of focused crypto channel. We don't get every single newbie, and we don't want every single newbie necessarily, right? I want the right people, not all the people. Fear and Greed Index is a 9. And of course, if you haven't, smash that like button for your boy who's putting his hours of work in. It's not like I'm making millions of dollars to be here. I'm here because I love crypto genuinely. Fear and Greed Index is at 9. Again, we've been ranging from anywhere from 5 to about 20, 5 to 18 on the Fear and Greed Index. You can look, it looks pretty flat down here. If this is the last 6 months, right? We could pull like the last month. And you would see we haven't had many days in the sunshine, right? That orange soda slaps, man. It really does. Yeah, please like and subscribe. My mods doing their thing. Appreciate you guys. All right, cool. And yeah, Ramirez, tell us what is the angle on Digibyte? Like, what is it about that project that you're really excited about, or that they've talked about is gonna come? You know, like, just as an example, like if you talk to somebody who watches a lot of, stuff on XRP or something, they're always talking about the Clarity Act is going to reprice. Like, they always have some new narrative. They always have some new thing. Like, the Clarity Act is going to have a reprice for XRP built into it. Like, because of global trade, the price of XRP is going to have to be much higher, and they're just going to price it higher. There's a private ledger. Like, a lot of times these different projects have these talking points, and I'm wondering, what does Digibyte have? Like, what are people looking forward to, speculating could happen? And to be honest, a lot of people, when it comes to XRP, give those people a lot of crap. They're just speculating like anybody else in the market. You could say that maybe their speculation is off. You could argue that. That's a personal perspective kind of thing. But to just always point our fingers and try to, and I don't do it, but a lot of people do, and point our fingers and laugh at them because they think XRP is going to $100. I don't think it's completely out of the realm. Now, is that in 10 years or 10 months? That's a different conversation. But my point is, they're just speculating in a market just like anybody else, and crazy things have happened. How many people would have believed you when you could get 4 or 5 BTC for a penny, that it was going to be worth over $100,000 one day? I bet a lot of people laughed at those people too. And then look at the timeline. Look how long it took for BTC to be worth like $100,000 from when it was 4 cents a penny back in 2012 to 25? Maybe, was it 24? Probably 25. My time reference is not great, right? Everything was yesterday or the other day. But anyways, that took some time. You had to have some conviction. It's kind of a lot to type, but it's a time lock UTXO where you lock Digibyte and mint DigiDollar. Okay. And Blues Guy kind of giving us the basics. Ramirez, one thing that we have in our Discord is a voice channel, right? Like a big phone call, if you will. And if you're ever interested, you could hit me up. We could chat that way. I'd love to know more about it. I'm very open. I want to hear what everybody has to say about everything, and then I'll form my own opinions. But I'm always going to be friendly about them. I don't really see any point in beating people down. We're here to raise that crypto IQ, not make people feel discouraged. So Solve Protocol. Let's make this the top 20 and not the top 10. Now we're over on Crypto Rank. We are looking at what's trending. Solve Protocol. Not a new token, been out about 1.2 years according to Crypto Rank. Thank God for the pop-ups every day. We thank the Lord that they give us so many pop-ups to click out of. It really keeps me, very dexterous with the mouse, always clicking out of all the pop-ups over on Crypto Rank. So very grateful. You got to practice gratitude every day. And no, I'm not being sarcastic about it. Let's go to the weekly. How about we just go to the monthly, because this thing looking like it's falling off a cliff here. Just want to see where it kind of started. The 1st of January 2025. Mario Sanchez in the house. What's up? What's up? Yep, Ramirez says yes. I don't know if he's talking to Blues Guy or the voice chat in the Discord, but either way, join that Discord and at me, at Underground Crypto. That way it'll pop up and I'll see it. Talking about stable, are you into tokenized treasury bills? I don't know if Mario Sanchez is asking me or if he's asking other people. I'm open to the idea of tokenized treasury bills. I like the idea of taking just about anything and making it tokenized. Self-custody, right? One of the big proponent conversations when you're talking to somebody new, maybe around your Thanksgiving or Easter, more relevant, dinner table, lunch table, whatever it is for you and your family, and you're saying, hey, You don't have to put your money in the bank. If there's something going on in the world and for whatever reason they're worried about, I don't know, bank collapses or something there's always somebody in the family who's running Armageddon narratives, right? And you could say, well, why don't you self-custody your own tokens, right? Like, why don't you self-custody your own stuff? And that starts with Bitcoin, USDC, USDT if you want stable coins, right? If you just want to hold American dollar, you're not a crypto person, you don't really believe in BTC, Ethereum, that kind of stuff. Like, you don't want to buy crypto, but you do want to hold your own money like a bank digitally and not have a scenario where you could lose your money from a bank going down, right? Maybe you have more than $250,000, more than what they insure, right? My point here is that they might be interested in that self-custodialness. Well, as we tokenize everything else, tokenize stocks, tokenize treasury bonds, tokenize all the different financial vehicles that a lot of people would use, you can now self-custody those, right? You don't have to have them in a centralized exchange. You don't have to have dealings with a broker, right? Like, you can just buy it somewhere and send it off somewhere to your cold storage wallet, hot wallet, however you want to manage it. But that's true sovereignty, right? True financial sovereignty. One thing is, for the longest time in the world, the problem was literacy, right? And for the most part, around the world, most people can read and write. That was not always the case if you're like me and you like a lot of history. Most of the time that humans have been around, and you can argue about how long that is, that's not the conversation, the majority of them were very illiterate, unless you were upper class, right? Well, unless you were like nobility or something like that. Now, what is the next big hurdle for humanity? It's financial literacy. That's why I like to do this show, because this is kind of the cutting edge of finances and where we're going. Blockchain, the web, the internet built on top of the internet, Web3, all of those different good SEO words. All those things are coming. And people see it, and that's why if you go to like Ondo tokenized stocks, like they're tokenizing the S&P 500, they're tokenizing Tesla coin, they're tokenizing all those things quietly in the background. It is coming. All right, let's see. Self-custody is super important. That's why I'm bullish on DGB, because I hold it in the DGB core wallet, which holds all of the DGB blockchain. Nice, very interesting. The one question you might want to ask yourself, Ramirez, is that a hot wallet or is it a cold wallet? What's the difference? What is the pros and cons? And maybe you want to get a cold storage wallet. I do have a link to Ledger. I like Ledger. A lot of people like a lot of stuff. I've used Ledger for a long time. There is a link in the description if you want to look at some cold storage wallets. It is what it is. If you don't buy it through my link, absolutely fine by me. Thank you, Blue. Says, nice. I learn stuff in here every stream. It says, give me a second, LOL. Sorry, Ramirez. I am known for going at a million miles an hour. This is me trying to chill and bring it down. Like, this right here is me moving at a slower pace so I don't lose everybody. All right. Market cap, 6.8 million. 231.9 million all-time high. Huge disparity. That right there kind of makes me pull back a little bit. And Ramirez says, like BTC. Yes, exactly. Self-custody vibe. All right, let's go here. Solve is an operating layer for Bitcoin, transforming the hard money into capital that works. It's offering institutional vaults, liquid staking, and lending solutions audited via Chainlink proof of reserve. You catch it? This would be very good for institutionals and stuff who want to lock up their BTC. They don't ever really want to sell it because they see the writing on the wall. It's only going to be worth more money, and everybody's going to be fighting over it, including governments, right? Later on down the line. And therefore, they want to hold it. They want to earn a yield on it. That, to me, is probably going to be one of the biggest selling points for Bitcoin DeFi, right? For moving liquidity around and earning yield and stuff like that. Anyways, then we have Nomina. Sounds like, I don't know. Sounds like a Spanish woman to me. Sounds like a Spanish name to me. All right. Nomina is an on-chain trading platform, and we looked at it and we thought This doesn't look near as cool as most of the platforms that we look at. I know you guys were thinking it. I wasn't alone, I'm sure. I'm sure other people were thinking it too, right? And of course, I'm blocked geographically because I live in America and everybody hates America. Or big companies like Coinbase and stuff don't want to give up their firm grip over the American market. But regardless of that, it says I'm in a light version. So, or lighter API. Sorry, never mind. They're just talking about me being disconnected from the API. So anyways, I don't like the way it's set up. Maybe if you click on some stuff, maybe I could get a chart. You know, you get a spread. I don't know. This looks like junk to me. As far as some of the impressive decentralized exchanges and centralized exchanges that I've seen and used, Nomina's not doing it for me. All right. Core Wallet is the official desktop wallet, acting as a full node to securely store, send, and receive DGB while maintaining a complete local copy of the Digibyte blockchain. Truly decentralized. All right, I rock with it. Is there a certain amount of coins you have to hold to be a node? I assume you saying that, Ramirez, I assume that you're operating a node in the network. If the wallet itself is a node, is there a requirement for how many coins you have to have? Also, having a core wallet will be the only way to mint DigiDollar. All right. Katana, Stakestone, and we're going to go more into it. I'll pull it up in a minute, but I just got to get through this part of the show and our talking points. We got to raise everybody's crypto IQ. We can't wait for nothing, but we will come to that. R2 we talked about yesterday. It's not, I don't know what to say about it. It's another yield generating stake your coin kind of thing. They have R2 USD. We've been over it a lot. Let's go launch the app. I didn't think the APYs were amazing, but they weren't horrible either, right? I can't really say anything all that bad about them. So their prime is 7.6. Their R2 reserve is 3.5. I've seen many places that say you could get 12, you know? So why would you want to get 3.5 or 7? Like, it's hard for me to believe people with money wouldn't flock to the highest yield, right? And we've seen plenty of projects where their whole thing is like they're a dashboard and they kind of find the highest yields that are legitimate, right? And then you can kind of move in and out of them and stay in the highest yield generating by doing that, right? All right, so Mezzos, I haven't seen this up in a while, right? Mezzos is an Ethereum compatible layer 2 chain that is that provides banking services for Bitcoin, right? So they're operating like a Bitcoin DeFi project, but they're on Ethereum. The 1st of April 2026, okay, there must be another coin with the same name because this token generation, or maybe I've seen the project before and now the token is just generating. That happens sometimes. 28 million, been as high as 38 million. It's only down like 10 million, right? Little pullback, only been around for a couple of days. Let's check out their website here. Let's see what they got to tell us. Oh, something went wrong. Trying to catfish me over here. Let's go to their Twitter. Anyone can run a core wallet. Right, but if you run a core wallet, are you automatically running a node? Is it the same thing, right? He says nope. Okay, cool. A lot of people know, but Arizona is making a DGB strategic reserve. I believe the bill is SB 1649. Wow, he came with the facts. Become a undergrounder crypto member and become an undergrounder for life, they say. Yeah, we certainly welcome you in here, Ramirez. I mean, for you to be somebody to click on, a crypto educational channel this far in the bear market, you got to really be somebody who's dialed in, and that's exactly who we're looking for. Said, dude, it's so undervalued and so underneath the surface, doing real work to change the crypto landscape and make Satoshi's dream real. I like it, man. I like what you're saying. You're actually getting me a little bit interested in it. Underground, there's a reason for choosing the lowest and the highest depending on liquidity. If low liquidity is more risky versus highest liquidity with lowest risk, I can see a person with a lot of money going low. I do get the concept, for sure. I do. I'm talking about going high depending on what is low risk, depending on your money, which is a whole other conversation I don't want to take up too much time on. Borrow, earn, and spend against your Bitcoin. Permissionless Bitcoin banking is here. 120.6. I don't know where 7 came from. 120,000 followers they have here. The moment has just arrived. This is Bitcoin DeFi type stuff. I don't get super excited about Bitcoin DeFi. I could see institutions, that's a good case, institutions wanting to earn on their money. But aside from that, I don't think your average Bitcoin person really wants to pull their money out and move it around and make it liquid. I don't really think so. Zama popping back up on the radar. Has Zama done anything on the chart? Running the Digibyte Core wallet on your desktop automatically makes you a full node in the Digibyte network. Nice. Hey, Reliable J rolling in. What's up? We definitely missed you. Thank you for being here. Reliable J has been around the block, let's say that. Reliable J, are you running a Digibyte node out there? Ramirez says if you download the wallet, you automatically are running a node, and then there's no amount required. Also, RC27 test net for the DigiDollar will launch tomorrow. Wow, Ramirez has all the sauce. You work for Digibyte? Nah, I'm just messing with you. Maybe he does. All right, so here's the daily. Looks like you had a falling wedge. You're getting a bounce. What's the measured move? You had tweezer top here. Signaled you were going down. And now you got a tweezer bottom signaling you might be going up. That would kind of make you a nice M pattern, wouldn't it? If that filled out. If it went bang and then went back up to there. I don't know why my line is wavy. Says I do join the Gitter. Oh, he says he does work for Digibyte. Join the Gitter. I don't know what Gitter is. You're going to have to let us know. Well, the real dev team is there. Got you. All right. Well, now we know why he's so bullish. Because he's behind the scenes. And maybe he knows what's going on. All right. Let's move along here. Let's do our talking points. Says I'll send it in the Discord. Okay. I just want to tell everybody here, no shots against Ramirez. Be careful of any links that you click in the Discord. Anybody who shares anything, even if they've been in our chat here, and I don't want to make it sound like Ramirez is a scammer, because not what I'm trying to do. He's probably legitimate, but if you see a link or something and you're like, oh, I want to go check that out, just go to your web browser. You know what I mean? And try to find the link in that way. Go to ChatGPT, go somewhere, and try to find an official link that's approved before you interact with the website. All right. There are methods and ways to find out if you got the right website. And I just got to say that as a disclaimer, right? For anybody who posts links and stuff in there. You are clicking things at your own risk. And I appreciate you joining the Discord, though. I really look forward to talking to you, especially now that I know that you're a part of the dev team. Now I really am interested to talk to you. 10 plus years of crypto, all beats me up, man. Alts beat me up. Yep. I stick to the main stuff. Yeah, altcoins can make or break you, right? Just depending on how long you want to hold them. Some coins stay alive through memory, not momentum. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming a coin only matters while it's actively moving. But in crypto, a lot of things stay alive long after the movement fades. Why? Because people remember they were involved in it when it was hot. And in this market, memory itself has value. I could definitely give testimony to what I'm saying here, because if you remember the DeFi summer, I talk about it often. It's where my love for DeFi gaming really started. Making money every day off DeFi gaming, and I was thinking, if this can just stick around, even if the amount of money went down, if this could just stay relevant for a couple of years, I'd make some killer money off of it. And guess what? It didn't, because the tokenomics and the way that it's set up doesn't work yet. But now, back then it was play to earn. You didn't hear any other narratives. You didn't hear play to own. You didn't hear anything like that. And now somebody's going to figure it out. It's too popular. You got to think the person who figures out a real economy, a real dynamic around Bitcoin games is going to make a crazy amount of money, right? When people cannot go to work and they can invest in a game and make $100 a day, $80 a day, whatever it is, it's $20, $30 supplemental side gig type money, right? They like to play video games when they come home from Zverse because although they're small and building, Zverse is very much doing that. And I'm not going to get off in the weeds completely when it comes to, gaming and DeFi gaming and stuff. But I did want to point out that that's a good example of a narrative that when you're involved with it, you remember. Am I frozen? I was freezing up there for a minute. I don't know what was going on. Dude, no doubt. If GTA was play to earn, it would stick. Need solid games everyone is hooked on. Yeah. Or Warcraft. Yeah. And that Zverse kind of feels like a very early on, version of like World of Warcraft, but DeFi. There's in-game items. Like, it doesn't matter about the money. We're too early in the stages for this stuff. I'm not worried about the money. I'm worried about the tech being there and there being some ability to make value no matter how little it is. I can already make items in this game. I can sell them on a actual, exchange inside the game, right? And then I can convert those things back and forth. Is there like some kind of update? Okay, obviously there's some kind of mess up here. I'll fix it later. I don't know. Where's all my stuff? It says I can't do it right now. Has there been some kind of update? What is this? Here, this will tell me. Yeah, so look, there's been an update. And that's what's cool about it. Like, they're actually updating, they're actually doing things. This looks pretty cool. There's a couple of things that I measure. This is more Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, sorry. This is more like crypto gaming stuff that I talk about more on like a DeFi Friday. I don't know why I'm getting into it because it proves my point about the memory around a significant thing happening, a certain amount of coins, a certain amount of projects, a niche in crypto pumping, which is what we're talking about here. But I like that they're integrating. I like that I can already make money in the game, even if it's very small. Anyways, let me do the talking points because I'll get lost in that. I just see they had an update and I'm like, crap, I kind of really want to play that. All right, familiarity. We love some gaming, some DeFi gaming around here, right? Familiarity is more powerful than people think. A lot of people underestimate how much familiarity influences behavior. If people already have heard of something, if they've already held it, even if they don't anymore, but they've held it before, already watched it move in a past cycle, it's much easier time re-entering attention later. That makes a huge difference. What's going on in this chat here? Said agreed, you're good, awesome. All right. Yeah, I guess that update coming through was making everything lag. Communities keep things alive under the surface, right? I mean, Digibyte's got a community they're building under the surface. We don't talk about Digibyte trending on a daily basis, but there's things moving apparently. Some coins don't stay alive because of constant hype. They stay alive because they still have people who care. Even when attention leaves, communities can keep something breathing long enough for the market to rediscover it later. That's a very real force in crypto. So old narratives often come back in new clothing. This happens all the time. Something that felt done suddenly comes back with a new use case, new framing, new narrative layer, or just better timing than before. And because crypto loves remixing old ideas into new cycles, that can be enough to bring something back. Like, think about AI agents. AI agents came and they went. A lot of people thinking they're dead, they're never coming back. Now, the AI agents that we bought back in those days, outside of maybe like the top 3 or 4 of them, are probably never coming back. At some point, we could see agentic networks combined with AI agent. Well, that's what an agentic network is. My point, combined with X402 protocol payments and stuff like that, really unlock the financial capabilities to manage portfolios, execute trading bots, all that kind of stuff. I saw something today about how Claude was already, Claude was already integrated into TradingView and making trades and stuff like that. That was really cool. I got to check that out again. And we're going to do some more of that here on the channel, right? It says we have saved Dogecoin and many other coins. We now have Dandelion, which is a little complicated to explain, but we are quantum proof for real. I love all the things you're saying, man. That's really cool. Please stick around the community and become an undergrounder and help us understand these things. Attention often returns to what already has a place in the market's memory. So when people are searching for what's next, they often don't actually go fully new. A lot of times they go semi-familiar, something that feels known enough to trust, but fresh enough to feel interesting, right? That's a very powerful middle zone. I think what it's saying here might go a little bit too quick and you might not catch the relevance of it, right? So let me say it again. Something that feels known enough to trust, right? But fresh enough to feel interesting and new. It's a very powerful middle ground. I like the way they said that when we're looking at maybe what we want to scoop up in a bear market. This is why dead coins sometimes still matter. A lot of people are too quick to call things completely dead, and yes, some projects do truly fade for good, but others aren't dead, they're dormant, and there's a huge difference between those two things. The core insight here is crypto doesn't just move on innovation. In conclusion, it also moves on memory, and memory keeps a lot more alive than people realize. AI agents have already been trading DGB. Yeah, and I know they have. I was talking about Claude being integrated with TradingView specifically. But yeah, I mean, AI agents have been trading stuff, trading bots, all kinds of Telegram bots. Yeah, I feel you. And he says his name is AJ. Well, welcome, AJ. I appreciate you being here. And this is going to come off maybe the wrong way. I don't mean it, but I just want to remind everybody, if something is being posted and there's links, go find them somewhere else. You know what I mean? Don't just click links blindly for people who you've never talked to in voice chat. And even if you talk to them in voice chat, like, you get my point here. I just really want to drive that home as we grow as a channel. As knowledgeable people come in who are legitimate, there will be people who also come in who are maybe not legitimate, and you want to be very wary of the links that you click on. And I will say it over and over because I don't want anybody in my community to get hurt. That doesn't mean that I think certain people are bad actors. All right, let's get this thing rolling again. It's taking forever to reload my durability now that it's so high. Gotta let that thing run while I'm not around. All right, cool. Let's go talk about Digibyte for a little bit. Says, I won't post links on Discord. Facts always, question everything, and trust nothing. Exactly. Ramirez, if you're a dev, if you truly are a dev, you know the shenanigans that goes on in all the different Discords and all the different places. I'm sure you have to be wary of the people around you just as much as we have to be wary of the people around us, right? All right. So, I'm in the wrong place. I want to go here. CoinGecko. I don't know why I wound up on crypto bubbles. So we got Digi, that DGB, and let's take a look at it. Let's pull it up on its max chart. So it's saying token generation event back in 2014, somewhere around like February 5th. I'm not going to go crazy at trying to get like the exact, right? And then we had a nice top. Always make it hard to grab that. Yep, at about 13.5 cents. Then we had an even bigger top, which I can actually pull down here. All-time high 17.8, so call it almost 18 cents. And the lowest to low, its absolute all-time low was actually about 11 years ago, right? And it says, Digibyte is more than a fast digital currency. It is an innovative blockchain that can be used for digital assets, smart contracts, decentralized applications, and secure authentication. What makes Digibyte unique? You might like this part, right? Digibyte is a rapidly growing open source blockchain created in 2013, released in 2014. After 6 years of forward-thinking development, Digibyte has become one of the safest, fastest, and longest, most decentralized UTXO blockchain in existence. Digibyte has never been funded through an ICO or significant amount of pre-mined coins. There is no CEO or company controlling the Digibyte blockchain. It is a volunteer-based, global community-driven project, very much like BTC is, right? Digibyte uses five cryptographic algorithms in real-time difficulty adjustment to prevent malicious mining, centralization, and hash power fluctuation. One of the most crypt, which is one of the most crypt that changes its. Oh, okay, I get. All right. That changes itself every 10 days for ASIC resistance. Maybe that has to do with their quantum resistance stuff. Digibyte blocks occur every 15 seconds, which is 40 times faster than Bitcoin and 10x faster than Litecoin. Early SegWit implementation on blockchain rigidly enables up to 1066 on-chain transactions, so 1066 on-chain transactions per second with negligible fees. Sorry, after all that, I suddenly can't talk. Digibyte has repeatedly set itself apart with multiple blockchains first, such as Digi, Shield Guard, multi-algo mining, and SegWit implementations. Boy, I can't talk. Let me hit some water or maybe some orange soda. That's what I want. He says, thank you for taking your time and reading on Digibyte, bro. Really means a lot. We are truly volunteer decentralized. Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad that I could be of help in spreading the news. And one of the goals of doing this channel is that over years and years, I will become highly knowledgeable about all things crypto. And that means all things crypto, right? NW in the house. What's up, brother? Thank you for being here. NW is our resident airdrop guy. So you will see the airdrop tab in the Discord. Check that out. All right, gotta love these deep dives and talking points. Yep, this channel is off the chart. If you like learning about having fun, underground crypto is the man. Welcome. Yeah, we try to just put everything into a show. And hey, sometimes it's a 2.5, 3 hour show. Our longest show was like 6 hours. And now we have Taproot, which is literally the fastest. Okay, that's good to know. That's probably not been updated in here yet, right? What else do we got? I didn't really finish this part. So, Oda Crypto Algorithm, Dandelion++, Privacy Protocol. He was just talking about that. Digi Asset and Digi ID. The founder, Jared Tate. Is he related to the other Tates? Dedicated full-time development towards Digibyte since October 2013. He has been invited by MIT, Harvard, and the U.S. Capitol to speak on blockchain tech. He is also the author of the book Blockchain 2035, The Digital DNA of the Internet 3.0, which is the first book written by a blockchain founder. Who knew that? I'm going to go find this book. Melissa, can you write that down or maybe post it over in the Discord, something of that nature? It's called Blockchain 2035, The Digital DNA of the Internet 3.0. I would really like to read that book. All right, what's next for Digibyte? Digibyte has a growing ecosystem with interested parties planning on or currently building platforms in real estate, finance, remittance, identity, point of sale, POS, racing, trading, healthcare, supply chain, government, and more. So everything. The Digital Foundation is a volunteer-managed organization that operates in a nonprofit way, protecting and promoting the true principle of decentralization and empowering Digibyte its community to establish and maintain sustainable decentralized world. The Digibyte Awareness Team is a community-driven outreach initiative aiming to promote the Digibyte blockchain through education, outreach, and marketing campaign. Yes, I could read that faster if I really wanted to just lose everybody. What happened? He says, no, not related. Oh, to the Tates. Yeah, exactly. I didn't think so, but you got to sneak a little jokey joke in there every once in a while. 73.3 million in market cap. That's not too bad. It's number 326 by market cap overall, right? So it's not like it's down where Cartesi is. Wink, wink. I don't know if I can hit you with the wink, wink with the glasses on. Maybe you can't even see that. And then let's get into the tokenomics, right? Because, you know, I'm a big proponent of tokenomics. We got 21 billion tokens. So 21 billion, you got 18.2 billion out into circulation. Here's where they're pulling their information from there. 24-hour trading volume is 1.8, right? 1.8 million. It's kind of low. We also will have a wallet that runs the full Digibyte node, but I can't speak on that too much since they're still working on it. Okay, well, thanks for giving us a heads up. You heard it here first, guys. Now, let's see. It says we have a wallet that runs the full node. I thought that it already ran a node. I thought the wallet already was running a node. If you download the wallet... Here's my question. With regular GPU, not an actual miner, if I were to download the wallet, would I be able to take part in the mining, securing of the network, earning some kind of small amount of Digibyte for having it up and having downloaded the full amount? Is that already out, or is that what's coming? He says, again, fully volunteer. Yeah, totally understand. You can't divulge mobile. Okay, so he's talking about a mobile wallet. So they already have that in the desktop wallet. Now they're working on a mobile wallet. That's really cool. And I mean, it's down. So if it was going to get some traction, then now would be the time to do it. Let me roll through our chat. I want to ask ChatGPT a question about something that you said. When you first came in here about Arizona, I think I've gone back too far. That was before you came in. Bang, bang, bang. All right. Not a lot of people know, but Arizona is making... Okay. Can you find me any information about Digibyte, the cryptocurrency, and Arizona making a DGB strategic reserve? I believe the bill is SB 1649. Let's see if ChatGPT can give us anything on here. Wow, it actually spelled Digibyte right. Never does stuff like that. When you have kind of very specific names, stuff like that, it doesn't normally give it to you. All right. So to back up the legitimacy here of our new friend Ramirez, let's read about it. Yes, and the interesting part, there really is Arizona legislation that explicitly mentioned Digibyte by name. The short answer, SB 1649, is not a Digibyte-only reserve bill, like by itself. It's a broader digital asset strategic reserve fund, but Digibyte is specifically listed in the bill definition of qualifying assets. So if someone is saying Arizona is making a Digibyte strategic reserve, that's not exactly accurate, but it's also not made up. The more precise version is Arizona SB 1649 would create a state digital asset reserve framework, and Digibyte is one of the named assets that could qualify under it, meaning it almost is guaranteed to qualify under it, meaning they're probably going to buy some amount of it, right? So what SB 1649 actually does would establish an Arizona Digital Asset Strategic Reserve Fund administered by the state's treasurer. According to the bill text and Senate fact sheet, the fund would hold certain digital assets that are held by, confiscated by, or surrendered to the state and keep them secure in custody or an exchange-traded product structure. Don't put it in FTX, Arizona. Don't do it. It also allows the treasurer to loan digital assets from the fund to generate returns if that doesn't increase financial risk to the state. That means this is not written like Arizona is gonna out in the market and buy a giant, amount of Digibyte tomorrow. More that the legal framework custody stuff would allow it, and it is one of the qualified assets. Says, bro, your mind is about to be blown. This is under Rapsol. I hope I don't get into the bill. Isn't that great? It is the fact that they have Digibyte second to BTC. Right. I get what you're saying. This is under Raps LOL. Very small community, man. I don't think it's getting out too far from here. So where Digibyte comes in, this is the key part. The bill defines digital assets to include certain cryptocurrencies or native on-chain assets that meet the bill's cryptocurrency fair value threshold, and specifically includes Bitcoin, right under that, Digibyte, XRP, stablecoins, NFTs, and other digital assets only meeting criteria. Of course, some of the things they include, like NFTs, are probably going to come from seizures, not necessarily buys. That would be my thought here. Yeah, the bill isn't that great. It's the fact that they have Digibyte second to BCC. Exactly. So DGB is now, yep. Arizona is officially, all right, it's going to start being really repetitive, so we're just going to can that because it'll tell us the same thing like 8 times. We're good on that. All right, let's do the news. Please give me all relevant cryptocurrency stories for the day. Also, all cryptocurrency related things trending on social media like Twitter. That list is the exact way they have it written in. I mean, I'm with you. I definitely think that it's really awesome to have Digibyte like being mentioned right under BTC and then under that XRP, and they really don't name a lot of other stuff, which to me is pretty cool because for the average person who's not very tapped in and stuff, Digibyte's not going to come to mind. So whoever is working in that sector rather chose Digibyte for what it is, like what it very specifically is capable of, how trusted it is, how long it's been around. Governments, institutions, they like stuff like that. New things come out that have maybe some newer tech and they're more hype and everybody thinks like this is the best thing, but not to governments and institutions. They like things that have been around over 10 years, things that have been tested through the fire, that have withstand multiple bear markets, that have been, attacked and fended off attacks, all kinds of stuff like that. That's what they look at, right? They're not dumb money, right? They're smart money. So crypto markets tumble as oil surges and traders pile into it. There you go. It's rotation of money. So USDC stablecoin issuer Circle unveil new tokens to give Bitcoin more utility. Elon Musk, X, is making big changes to combat crypto scams. I like that. Maybe they'll start being a little more optimistic on crypto posts, because if you're not already like a verified, and even if you are verified, if you're not already like a big creator with a big name on X, they cut your ability to promote things, to do anything with crypto. They just kill it, right? You can't really grow unless you already have a lot of growth somewhere else, and then those people come over and they boost you up, and then you pass a certain threshold that tells Twitter like, hey, this person is legitimate. Other than that, good luck. X plans on auto lock features for the first time. Crypto posts to link phishing scams, to limit phishing scams. Sorry, I couldn't read it all the way. Here's why crypto market is going down today. So that's it. Risk off, sell off. That's what you're hearing. The dominant story across the market is simple. Crypto got smacked lower again. Bitcoin traded around mid-high 66,000. Ethereum around 2K. Altcoins generally underperformed. Multiple outlets tied the move to a broader risk-off macro backdrop, including geopolitical tension and fragile marketing position. That has been the crypto news. Circle launched Circle BTC. Okay, I didn't hear about this. This is interesting. One of the cleaner actual ecosystem stories today is that Circle announced Circle BTC. And for anybody who doesn't know, USDC, that's a Circle product. A wrapped BTC style token meant to bring more Bitcoin liquidity utility into other ecosystems and application. That's relevant because wrapped BTC infrastructure still matters a lot more for DeFi, even if price action stealing the headlines, right? And if this is your first rodeo, this might scare you, everything that's going on with crypto going down. It's just a bear market. We've been through multiple of them. It happens. It's part of the process. X is cracking down on crypto scam posts. I love that. Get the bad actors out of there. Get the nonsense out of there so real people who do real stuff and create authentic, genuine content, not just recycled content, can actually get some recognition out here. Altcoin are bleeding harder than Bitcoin. Of course they are. That's bull market stuff. All right, let's move into what's trending on Twitter, because that's just giving me a lot of the same stuff. If you really want CT summary in one paragraph, today's crypto social media mood is bearish, exhausted, and hyper-reactive. People are mostly talking about the dump, BTC support levels, altcoins underperforming, and whether this is fear-driven opportunities or just pain ahead. The one genuinely notable non-price story is X tightening up crypto posting rules to fight scams, right? I don't need... Did it ever give me Twitter stuff? Did I just roll right past it? Yeah, here we are. On social media, why is it down again? Very repetitive. BTC around 66, 68,000. Altcoin pain, which alts will survive. Crypto scams, hacks, phishing. Remember, most things are phishing. They're not actually hacks. Most people get your passwords and things through email chains and stuff like that, especially within companies. For the average retail, that's not necessarily the case. But most stuff they do get from you from phishing, from text messages they send you, stuff like that. Exactly is for the DigiDollar. You'll be able to send millions of stable, completely anonymous. Hey, privacy is a big narrative. DTSP will show up as 0.0000. That's funny. And no risk of liquidation. Real game changer. Time locked UTXO, meaning you can just pay back the loan and unlock escrow the next. I think is what he meant. Esru? I think it's a typo. Also build scarcity on a cap coin already. Says, I subbed to the channel and I'm in your Discord. Thank you again for taking time on DGB. I really appreciate it. You got it, man. Thank you for being here. We're all about like real committed crypto people, not just fly by night meme coin bros. Although they're welcome here too. I'll hear what they have to say, but they better come with a real narrative. Yay, they have EURC and USYC. That is a tokenized treasury. Yeah, I assume that Mario Sanchez is talking about Circle. Anyways, shout out to everybody who's here. It's been an amazing stream. I just want to take a moment to talk about the compounding interest of coming every day to the show, not just for your numbers, for your education, for your mind. Again, I don't make money from doing this at this point in time. It's all done out of the love for cryptocurrency, the belief that we are early, that we are here early. A lot of people do trading. They do nothing but charts. We'll show some charts. I've been with the Lifer for years. If you want to know more sophisticated TA, go follow the Lifer. He's a personal friend of the channel and, of myself, maybe not the channel. But anyways, I just want you guys to take a moment and think about what happens when you show up every day in a sector like this. And every day I've got a series for a week and a topic every day that goes in that series to make sure you understand how narratives form, how the money flows, what a lot of people do. We've been talking about psychology of markets here lately, being on top of all the trending coins that come out. Like if you really stop and think about all the different things that we go over. On that note, we're going to go ahead and do our GMs for our Robinhood testnet airdrops. We talk about, like, there is so much stuff that as this market starts to heat up, it is going to pay, in my opinion, I think it's going to pay some huge dividends to already be in a community like that where you've been paying attention and building that crypto IQ. And then everything goes nuts, it's going to, in my opinion, it'll feel like child's play for how it's felt in the past, where it just feels chaotic. You don't know why anything's pumping. You don't understand why things pump, where they're going to go next. Like, you're just not dialed in yet. We want to help you get dialed in. We want to raise that crypto IQ. Stick with us through the bear market. Remember, the bear market is the time for building. Bear market is the time for building portfolios, for building your understanding about how things work, all that good stuff. And most people sleep on it. Most people run away in bear markets. We've seen our numbers drop off here, and it's perfectly normal. It's perfectly okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings. If anything, I feel bad for the people who have left, but I love all of my undergrounders who stick around, who come to most shows, if not every show. You guys mean the world to me. I'm going to hang out in the channel. I just don't want to make your space only about me. Thank you, dude. Hey, you're very welcome. Feel free to chat about what you like as much as you want. We're a small channel. And just so you know, Ramirez, you keeping the chat running is actually a huge help to me. So I welcome it. As long as you're talking about actual stuff you care about and you're not just saying, you know, F this person or F that, like, as long as it's not stupid, crazy or something, you're good, man. Chat as much as you want. I'll read it. I read all the chat, right? Well, we all thank you for what you do, doing it for free. It will pay off, sir. Thank you, Melissa. Shout out to my mods, Blues Guy and Melissa, who are very helpful. Shout out to Reliable J, another great friend. I met him in real life. I've had dinner with him. Reliable J is an awesome person and great member of the community, showing off those custom emojis for like $2 a month. You can have the custom emojis that I made, and I'm going to make some more real soon. Said, oh yeah, underground community, let's show and flash those. Yep, custom emojis. Good call there. Full on gratitude. IQ raising, get ready for some amazing deep dives. And normally tomorrow would be DeFi Friday, one of my favorite streams. I love them all, but that one's really laid back, very community, us just playing games. We do a lot of digging and diving. We learn how to bridge things and move things through different ecosystems. We spent a lot of time on StarkNet for some of the games that they had over there, and it's been a lot of fun. I said, LOL, it makes me smile when you say that we are here early when BTC is already 18 years old. Yeah, imagine that. We are still early on a lot of things. Like, you're early on agentic networks. BTC might have been around for 12 years, but BTC didn't have no AI agents. They didn't have no agentic networks. They didn't have no X402 protocol and micro payments. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things, and I could go down a long list, right, of things that we did not have. I mean, when you could be early on Memecore, right, which has Memex, which is a Web3 based Twitter, basically. Right now it is very degen. It's about a lot of meme coins, a lot of people who really love like meme coins and crypto, right? They do post some other stuff here, of course, but a lot of it is meme coin centric, so you definitely know what's popping off. And it's a very small, tight-knit community right now, but it is actually Web3. It's actually built on a lot of things. So I could go on a long tangent about many things that you would technically be very early on. Right now, you're not early on Bitcoin, right? I will say that, Mario. You're not early on Bitcoin. Most people know about Bitcoin, right? But you could still be very early on a lot of things. I mean, even for, it's hard to see through the lens of other people unless you really hang out with a lot of people, or maybe you don't think about it. Like, think about how many people maybe you hang out with, social circles, friend groups and stuff, and notice nobody talks about crypto ever. Like, ever. That should tell you something. A lot of people still don't know what XRP is. Even if they've heard of it, they don't know what it is. We are definitely still very early. I would definitely take that stance, if you will, that we are very early. So let's hit around a Panzer Dog real quick. It is rolling on 10:15. Mario Sanchez says, true. In 18 years, most people I know don't know crypto yet. Crazy. Yeah, exactly. AI agents will help realize That soon, not real home AI agents. Yeah, real like at home AI agents. Is that what you're saying? Realize soon. I think I got everything out of that. I'm in for Panzers when it's time. All right, we're gonna have to reload this. I've had that page up for too long. All right, it's time. Let's get maybe 2-3 games of Panzer Dogs in. Then you boys got to hit the road. There is an album to be recorded. I'll probably be even more active than usual in the Discord while I'm out hanging out with the bands and stuff like that while things are being recorded. I'll probably have quite a bit of downtime. So let's chat. If anybody's locked in this weekend, since I won't be able to do a stream, I'll probably be posting a lot more in there. A lot of times when I see a few things, I'll just save it for the stream, and when we come on the stream, I'll unveil it there, and I don't always immediately post it to the Discord, but I probably need to pick up on my posting things like news stories and stuff. I see Camsta posting their news stories and stuff all the time. Is Camsta still here with us, or did he already go to bed and I missed it? I'm not sure. All right, Panzer Dog taking a hot minute to load today. What is going on? Yeah, not loading. Is it not loading for you either, Blues Guy? It's not just me. All right, we'll move on over to Chainers. I rock with Chainers. Don't miss the first sprouts. Claim my seeds. All right, what's going on? They want me to spend money in their store. Is that what this is? I'm not spending none of this. I'll spend the in-game currency that they give me for free. But this whole Chainers adventure is very much about what can we get out of this without actually spending any money. At least for now. Maybe in the future I'll spend something on it. But as of right now, I just want to see what all we can generate for free, right? Because if it's not for free, then everybody's not going to have access to it, right? Now let's see. We've got 0.00088 BNB. Thanks for the super chat, Melissa. First super chat of the night. Thank you very much. Says, we want to hear you sing on your friend's album. They already have a singer. Otherwise, I would love to do that. Y'all have to check out some of my other music when it's ready. I've cycled through the music that I do several times, right? I used to do some reggae music. Once upon a time, I posted a few of those things in there. My agent is pretty morbid, but I set him up to make the API keys. If not, he dies. LOL. That's hilarious. I about 80% understand what you're saying there. I think I 100% get it, but I think there's a level of that maybe I'm not understanding. Anyway, let's sell these crops off for some BNB. And I have a BNB wallet with him. I've never tried to withdraw it, so I don't know what happens when you try to withdraw your BNB out of here. Let's check it out. All right, we got our BNB wallet up. We open our wallets. Enter the amount and where you would like to send it. So they do have a withdrawal function. You will pay the Binance Smart Chain fee, which has nothing to do with them. Okay, so they do have a function. I never went that far, so I just wanted to double check that you could easily withdraw funds there. And we've generated that .000889 for free. We didn't pay any money. And the whole time we've been building up our farm, right? So every day we're actually capable of making more. I like Chainers. Take you, 1 minute a day to do, maybe. Check it out. There's a link in the description. I don't get anything through my link unless you buy something in the store. Unless you spend real money in the store, they give me 30%. Other than that, I don't get anything from using my link. It's just a quick way to get there. I like to be overly transparent. Some people call it a flaw. I call it, what makes me so reliable and trustworthy. Hopefully you guys feel that way too. Anyways, guys, it doesn't look like Panzer Dog is loading, which is a shame. I would have loved to got Reliable J and Blues Guy on a team, or Camstar, whoever was ready, and rock a Dream Team game real quick before I had to hop off, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I got to go hit the road and get to where I need to go. So everybody have a great night. Thank you for the super chat, Melissa. Thank you for being here. This is an awesome stream. Again, I had no idea that we were going to get into Digibyte, the Arizona thing, like that we were going to get into all the different things that we got into. We were going to go over so many good topics and refresh on things like portfolio and bottom of the bear market type stuff, what our aim, what our goal is. Stay tight as a community. I love all you guys. Hit me up in the Discord. I'm certainly down the chat. Says Satoshi Nakamoto wrote, I think there were a lot more people interested in the 90s, but after more than a decade of failed trust third-party based systems, DigiCash, they see it as a lost cause. I hope they can make the distinction that this is the first time I know of that we're trying a non-trust based system. Decentralization, well put. Reliable J, what's up, everybody? Thank you for throwing those emojis. Okay, can't say any more sauce here, LOL. Hey, there'll be another stream on Monday. Normally, we're Monday to Saturday, 6 days a week. Like I said, it's been planned for 2 months, so I'm going to go run out and do it in the bear market. Thank you, bro. Definitely going to be in the Discord. Shout out to Ramirez. We appreciate you. I'll see you there. This was a great info stream. I'm glad. Hey, if Melissa enjoyed it, it was a good stream because she's definitely deep into a lot of these projects. And when you're live, I'll drop by. Hey, 8:30 New York time, Monday through Friday. Saturday's actually at 10 p.m. But, hey, even if you just catch Monday through Friday, that would be awesome. All right, and make sure you hit that bell notification. That goes for everybody so you'll hear every time I go live or launch a video. With that being said, you know what I'm going to tell you guys. Stay underground. Stay crypto. Underground crypto, out of here. Have a good weekend, everybody. See you in the Discord.